Yeah. Yeah. Hi, all. Very good morning. My name is Venkatesh. Like here, I'm taking the first demo on Snowflake. So I will explain about me. I have 8 years of professional experience. Uh, First of all, can you someone confirm me? Am I audible to everyone? Can someone confirm me? Hello.
Yes, Venkatesh. Yes, you are
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So, yeah. So, as I told, I have 8 years of professional experience. I'm currently working in one of the major US bank. So, in my experience, I worked in many data engineering and data analytics projects. So, mostly I use Snowflake, AWS, and Python and Power BI for reporting. So, this is my overall experience. So, today I'm very excited to give you our first demo on Snowflake. So it is a very advanced cloud data warehouse tool, as you know. So let's dive into and explore more into the topic. So I'll quickly share my screen. Can someone confirm me? You can able to see my screen,
Yes,
right?
it's visible.
Yeah, thank you. So let's start with the Snowflake. What is Snowflake? Let's start with the topic. So what is Snowflake? So Snowflake generally mm, it is a cloud data warehouse deliver as service. So we'll explain more on the what is cloud data warehouse, what is SaaS, like in the below section. So it is generally a cloud data warehouse that delivers as a service and that handles your all your data from storage, processing, handles all your data from storage and processing and others. So like to build a ETL and other stuffs. All your data. So basically, the data means you come up with you need to you need to store your data and you need to process, you need to query the data, right, as per your requirement, and then you need to create some data pipelines inside, like to gather the data from various data sources to the our tables. So this is basically serves as cloud data warehouse and delivers as service. So we need to understand what is cloud data warehouse first. So what is cloud data warehouse? So very important because most of the companies now they are migrating from traditional warehouses like MS SQL and Oracle and MySQL to the cloud system, right? So we need to understand what is cloud data warehouse, what it offers, what it differentiate from traditional data warehouse that makes more popular for cloud data warehouse. So we need to understand the cloud data warehouse first. So before going for cloud data warehouse, so we need to understand what is warehouse. So warehouse is simply a collection of data. Warehouse is a collection of data. So as simple definition, if any shopkeeper is running a business, like he's having a shop in near to the market, right? So he's having a small shop. So day to day, he will take the goods from different like storage, like the storage he will keep it separate, the big godam kind of thing. So he will keep all the required items which is required for the 1 week sale items. He will keep in godam, like very big room, and then you will daily day to day will bring that items to the market shop and he will sell, right? So that is the warehouse for his shop. So same like here, data warehouse is the warehouse for your entire data, means it's having all historical data. It is a collection of all historical data for a business, for a company. It will stores in a particular system. So that is a warehouse. So here cloud data warehouse means all your data will be stored in a platform. So now we have a few storage platforms which are available in market, right? Such as AWS S3D bucket, S3D, and Azure Blob. So these are various storage systems, even GCP, are which are available in the market. So Snowflake take this AWS or like some of the cloud service storage as part of the Snowflake account, and it will manage your data, all your data. So you don't need to have different accounts for AWS Snowflake together. No need to have. Once you get the Snowflake account, so you will get the AWS and Azure Blob. They will maintain, the Snowflake company will maintain. It will give you a particular storage for your based on your um, the profile which you selected. So that it will give, that will take care by the Snowflake. But all your data, uh, once you get into Snowflake account, your data will be stored by this one of these storage systems. So what is the advantage then? So it separates your storage and compute layer separately. So this is very important. So this is where uh, your traditional and cloud data warehouse will differentiate from. So in traditional warehouses, we need to understand how the data is stored in our current system, I mean traditional system. So we'll discuss this one. So after discuss on this particular thing, you can easily understand. So this is how it differentiate how our cloud data warehouse system to our traditional. Now currently we are following that traditional warehouse system. So entire is data is stored in a particular physical system, physical machine. You can take physical computer like so once you have a like MSX, like MS SQL, if you take, once you install MS SQL, what it will happen? So the SQL software you need to install in your system, like physical computer. So once you install uh, this particular MS SQL in your computer, your storage and your RAM, see, your laptop will be having a storage particular hard disk, right? Let's say 1 TB hard disk, and the RAM is 8 GB, let's say. So this software will consume your hard disk as well as RAM. To what, how it will consume means, once you install the software, ultimately you need to create some particular tables. You need to handle your data, right? You need to store your data. The data backend, it will store in your hard disk. And whenever you are writing any SQL queries, ultimately to interact the data, the user wants to interact the data, you need to write a SQL commands, right? To interact any database data, you need to interact through SQL language. So for that, whenever you are writing a code, SQL code, and you are executing, ultimately it will consumes your RAM. Means temporarily it will consumes your RAM. So that is how your processor will works. So all storage and compute will be handled by same system, same system. So here comes the difficulty. So the storage and compute are in the same system. Once the storage comes slow, like storage becomes slow, that processor, and our RAM becomes slow. So it's very difficult to fetch the data and to store the data in some cases. So the data pipeline will works very slowly in this case. So whereas in cloud data warehouse, so the and uh, storage and compute will works independently. What it means the storage, as I told earlier, so the storage is maintained by some AWS or others, right? So the storage and the compute power will be maintained by Snowflake. So these two are separate entities here. So the advantage of here it is the storage and compute will be separate entities. So you can independently increase your storage as you required, and you can independently increase the compute power. So for example, you are pulling the long data set, like 1 GB data set. So that time you need more capability, right? To to make the data to pull faster. It should be like more compute. It needs more resources to consume, like to process the data. So ultimately you need more compute power. So here you can in the cloud you can independently increase your capacity of compute. But in physical system, once you have 8 GB RAM, you can't increase your RAM directly. Maybe you have to approach some of the technical team uh, to increase the RAM. That will take the time. But at the one shot, you can't able to increase your RAM in a physical system. So that is how traditional warehouses data sits. But whereas in cloud data warehouse, you can independently increase storage, what like whichever you want, and the compute, how much the RAM, like resources you need to execute your particular data, data job. So this is the very advantage. So that's why it's very popular. These cloud data warehouses are very popular and very faster nowadays. So nowadays many of the companies are migrating from traditional warehouses to cloud data warehouses because of this is the one of the reason for that. You got my point, right? So in between, if you have any questions, you can ask me directly. Not a problem. So this is about cloud data warehouse. So as we discussed about cloud data warehouse, we need to get the knowledge on SaaS also. What is SaaS? So SaaS is, in simple definition, it's a software as service. So software as service, what it means? So software as service means, so in olden days, you like as I told in traditional case, you need a physical system where you need to install a software, and it needs the hard disk and RAM to execute any particular job. So but whereas in software as service, the data, everything is on fly. You no need any installation of any computer. If it, no need of any installation of any computer, and no need of any physical system to store your data or to execute any SQL commands. There is no requirement. Once you get a Snowflake account, right, you need to just log into that account. All the data and all the compute, like all the data pipelines will be maintained by cloud. So here you no need to install any software, any physical system. You know it literally not required. So that is the very advantage. Whenever you want, you can whenever new projects comes in, that time you can take an account and you can complete your task. That's it. So no need to maintenance and the security, and these things are eliminated by by offering this software service. So that's why many cloud platforms are very popular, because of this is the one of the reason. So that's why ultimately you no need to maintain the maintenance. You no need to purchase any physical system, and you no need to purchase any hard disk. So these are the this makes the company to run the business, their business, very easily, right? So that is why all the companies are moving to the traditional warehouses to cloud systems. This is the reason. So it offers software as service. But Snowflake will offer SaaS. So this is about SaaS, right? And then we'll discuss more on the different systems which are available in the market. So currently we discussed as Snowflake will is works as cloud data warehouse, right? So the data warehouse thing we discussed, and what are the different systems which are available in the market? I mean types of systems. So there are two major systems which are available. One is OLTP, and OLAP systems. So our Snowflake, where it will sits in, we'll explain, and we will discuss briefly on what is OLTP, what is OLAP. So what Snowflake will sits in between two. So OLTP is the online transactional processing. So this is in the definition, but we'll understand more on OLTP. So OLTP means, so it focuses on fast and real-time data. So the system means, here you need to understand what is system means. It's generally a database or warehouse you can take. It's generally a database or warehouse where your data stores in it. That's what you need to understand. There are two different types of systems which are available in the in this particular data warehouse types. Those are OLTP and OLAP. So OLTP means on-time online transactional processing system. So why it requires means, so I will give you one example. So whenever you go to ATM, right? Whenever you go to ATM, you withdraw some amount. Immediately, your balance will reflect your current balance, your debited balance and credit, whatever debited balance will deduct from your total balance, and it will immediately reflect in your app or your account, right? Immediately to it. How like how it is immediately reflecting in your account, what like how the backend data is updating that much faster means because of OLTP system. OLTP systems are directly deals with your live data. So these tables or these databases will be having normalized tables, so which will store the data in bulk manner, like whatever your transaction history table, right? So it will update. It will keep on update whenever you are doing any activity. The tables are in live. These particular tables. So what it will happen is whenever you debited some amount, the token will immediately dig into your OLTP tables, and it will immediately update your front end data. So that is how this OLTP systems will work. So these particular things will update day to day or time to time, minute to minute, every time. So the perfect example of this is banking system or ATM, like whatever banking services which will offer. Those are ATM systems. This is a perfect example of this. Now you understand, right? And one more system we have is OLAP system. So this is very important. So OLTP systems, as we told, it deals with your live data or transactional data or real time data. So what OLAP will do? So OLAP is online analytical processing. So what it will do? So this is right. This is for customers. Customers, it's the OLAP systems are very important because they need to always they will search and they will do like they will always on live, right? They will nowadays most of the people are having the digital devices, so they will always keep on search their balance and some of the details, right? So this is for the customers. And what OLAP systems are required? This is for business users. users. Why it importance is, like as we discussed, the all OLTP will focus on the day-to-day data. The OLAP will focus on historical data. Historical data. So basically, it saves all your historical data into your one system. That is the OLTP system. So why the historical data is important for the business is, so for example, a customer, like a business user is running a business, is having multiple products. So you need to know which product is performing over 5 years, or how is my business from past 5 years, where I'm lagging behind as compared to others. Yeah, where I'm lagging from others. So those details the business users must need to know to make a competition among their other companies, as well as to know where is business stand till date. So kind of analytics, right? So to perform any analytics, we need to perform any data analytics and data engineering stuff, we need to connect these OLAP systems to process. Otherwise, we like the business won't run effectively. So every business nowadays are focusing on data analytics and data engineering, all because of this, to make more profit and to make compete to others. So these and all very important whenever a company to grow. When the company to grow, this data analytics and data engineering is very must. So many companies are investing more money on this particular areas because of this is the reason. And the Snowflake, our Snowflake, will offers OLAP OLAP capabilities. So Snowflake will offers OLAP capabilities. So you can you can do many stuffs like data analytics and data engineering, and even data lake. So we can the use case, we can discuss the use case of Snowflake then. So as we discussed, the Snowflake is data cloud data warehouse, and it offers the OLTP services, and it is the SaaS as we discussed. So we need to understand what is the use case of Snowflake in the industry. So use case of Snowflake. So it's a modern data warehouse, right? So a centralized data warehouse. So a centralized place, all your business data is stored, so that it offers, because it takes the backend third-party tools like AWS S3D and Azure services to store your all your data into a particular place, storage purpose. And one more area, so which is data engineering. This is very important area. 70% of your Snowflake job will work on this particular data engineering area. So what is data engineering? We need to understand briefly. So this is building a data pipeline and transform your data. So we are all discussing about the storage capabilities. But we need to understand where the data is coming. To store the particular data, we need to know where the data is actually coming. So there are data is coming from various, will come from various platforms like excels, because a customer running a business, though the user, the who are working the in current places, so he will use excel and plot file to store the particular data, day to day data he will use, or some of the applications. So those applications will directly link to the database tables. So whenever you enter any data into that particular application, the data at backend it will store uh, at in some company tables. So Excels, DBs, DBs means like MS SQL, Oracle, Teradata. So these are the etc. Many are there, and then we have directly to API and JSON. So these are the majority of data which will come from these data sources. So these data is present in this particular Excel. For example, the data is present in Excel. You need to move this data to your Snowflake storage table, right? For that, you need to create a pipeline to store your data, right? So you need to create a data engineering stuff. This data engineering means to build a data pipeline and to transform a data. So data pipeline which includes to connection to connecting to these data sources, and then transform your data. What transform your data means, whenever you are getting the data, it always need some correction, because for example, if you take Excel, you the person is randomly entering. He might do mistake, like he might enter some duplicate record, or he might enter some wrong record. So those kind of things are there. So you need to transform your data. What transformation means? You need to clean up the data, right? Clean up the data first, and then you need to move to your virginal tables, means the Snowflake tables. So these kind of stuffs will be done by Snowflake by using Snowpack. So that we'll discuss brief in upcoming lectures, but you need to understand just the capabilities of Snowflake, what it will do. So why it's very important in the market. So you need to understand about this as of now. So, and also it will serve as data lake. So data lake means a huge dump of data will put in a particular table. So we can pull whenever necessary a massive data, uh, let's say raw data. It directly dump into the particular massive data into a data lake. So generally it consists of semi-structured and structured data. Semi-structured data to structured data. Structured one. So like semi-structured means, let's say JSON file. It's a semi-structured data, right? So that semi-structured and as well as structured data can be handled by Snowflake. So it serves as data lake purpose. Data lakes means you simply understand a massive data sits in a particular table. So that you need to understand. That's about this. So after sitting the raw data, like massive raw data into a particular table, you need to perform some kind of cleaning operation before you transform to the data warehouse. Those kind of stuffs also can be supported by Snowflake. And also secure data sharing. So what is very important? It's only pertaining to the Snowflake. No other will offer in general. So secure data sharing means, so once you get the Snowflake account, you are the owner of that particular account. So whenever the client need to want to understand the data, or you need to share some details of out of which the you as a owner can able to create a secured account to client, and you can give some only read-only access to the client. So those capabilities also will be offered by the Snowflake that we'll discuss brief in the next lecture. But you need to understand this is a specific uh, use case alone for Snowflake. And also it supports for data science and machine learning. So you can use these particular data, like whatever data is existing in Snowflake. So by using that, you can create the machine learning models out of which, and data science models out of which. So those capabilities also offered by the Snowflake. Yeah. So as we discussed before, Snowflake has most of the jobs in the Snowflake which involves data engineering, right? So we will concentrate more on Snowflake by using like data engineering by using Snowflake in the lectures, and also we'll focus on other topics as well. But 70% of the jobs related to Snowflake, like whoever joins as a Snowflake developer in the company, he need to work majority of his work related to data engineering. So it's very important how like we need to perform data engineering stuff by using Snowflake. Our lectures all we will focus throughout our lectures we will focus on data engineering stuff by using Snowflake. So data engineering. So what is data engineering? As I explained before, I'll give you a brief explanation of data engineering. So the data engineering involves data injection. So this is the loading data from various sources, and data transformation, which means, as we discussed earlier, data cleaning and preparing data using SQL commands. So here, as I told, to load the data from various tables, loading the data from various to connect to the different data sources, this requires no like nothing to drag and drop thing only. But data transformations will require the SQL language. So you like I will explain the basic SQL commands in my classes. But before that, if you have some familiarity with SQL, you can go through some of the videos. Mean very basic SQL commands. You can go through anyway. That will cover up in this particular course. No need to worry. But to have immediate to get immediate reaction, like to gain immediate knowledge, you just explore yourself SQL commands. So while going through the lectures, you can understand easily. That's why I told. So SQL commands, basic SQL commands, I'll explain whatever necessary for to do Snowflake job, that I'll explain, and also I'll explain the stored procedures and UDFs in brief in upcoming classes. So if you know the SQL basic commands, so other things will get easily, because when you are writing 10 lines or 100 lines of code, all you need to understand is how, like, why we are writing and where that like where this particular SQL command is necessary. All you need to know. So anyway, whenever we are writing any store procedures, I will explain the code line by line. So there you will understand what is the use of each SQL command into that, and the requirement, based on requirement, we need to write a SQL code and we need to process the data. So that's how uh, our course will go on. So, and also automation support. So automation support means scheduling, like whenever you're creating a data engineering pipeline, right? So the end user expects it should run automatically by its own. Once you set up means the data is available. Whenever data is available, the data directly need to be it should trigger all whenever data is available. Your data pipeline should trigger, oh, this the today data came, and it should directly load into a particular Snowflake table. So it auto direct your data into your Snowflake table, right? So those kind of capabilities will supported by Snowflake by using automation, scheduling a pipeline automatic, like by using Snowpipe. You can schedule a pipeline whichever time you prefer. You can schedule scheduling these pipelines to run automatically, right? So these are the data engineering stuffs and day-to-day Snowflake as a developer you need to perform in your particular job. So as we discussed on many of the basic stuff related to Snowflake, and we need to understand our current market as a Snowflake developer. So what are the roles which are offered by the Snowflake? So we'll discuss brief into that. Snowflake developer role. Once you complete the course, you will be go as Snowflake developer. So what Snowflake developer will do? Mostly, most of the 90% of the job will related to Snowflake developer. 10% or maybe 10 to 15%, you might do some Snowflake database admin role. So those kind of roles also you will get. But most of the market, as per the market, you will get Snowflake developer role. So in this role, what kind of jobs you will do? So as I discussed, this role, in this role, this particular role, you have to design and build pipelines, data pipelines. So this is one of the responsibility as a Snowflake developer you must know. So as I told before, it is related to data engineering job, right? Design and build a data pipeline. So you this is one of the responsibility of the Snowflake developer, and one more is data pipelines to create the data pipeline. So design and build pipeline means in the paper. In the paper, as a data architect, what he will do? So he will design a layout of this is where data is coming. This is the multiple sources we need to connect, and we need to join this table, and we need to put the data in stage server. And after stage server, we need to perform some cleanup operations. So these kind of paperwork will done by data architect in every company. So those kind of role also you have to do as a part of Snowflake developer. So you need to understand what are the services which are offered by the Snowflake. Then only you can able to design the pipeline, right, layout, right? So those kind of responsibility also you should know. So those kind of things will be covered in our lectures. And data pipelines, build a data pipelines on live. So what it means is you need to, by using Snowpipe, which is a part of Snowflake, you need to create a live uh, data pipeline where you can in the system you need to design the pipeline where you can gather the data and you can do some data engineering stuffs, and those kind of operations you have to do it on live in the Snowpipe. So those stuffs, ETL, all ETL operations you can able to all ETL operations. As a data engineering role, you need to do this. And then SQL optimization. So these are the responsibilities of Snowflake developer. So whenever you are going as Snowflake developer, So whenever you are designing any data pipeline, so while for performing the transformation steps, you need to write much SQL command, SQL code. So in that, the because of this, you written a SQL code, your data pipeline should not run slowly. So you need to optimize that SQL code. So which command you need to use, how the command effectively we need to use, how chance and the filter conditions, how both will relate, which one we need to use first, which one later. Those kind of automation techniques also we will learn in the lectures. Don't worry. But as a Snowflake developer, this is the your job also, because at the end of the day, your data pipeline, if it is running for 2 days, is no use, right, for the end user. So it should run as much as faster. So that is taken care by the Snowflake developer by optimizing the SQL code. So those things will deeply explain in our regular lectures. And the security. So whenever you are creating a data pipeline or a stage database, you need to know what are the security services which are offered by the Snowflake. So those things also you need to know, and you need to give the security options as well. Whenever your data pipeline move to the production, you need to give some security options for other users. So those things also you need to know. And data migration activities. So as I told earlier, so these stuffs you will use, and also some reporting. So Snowflake, inside Snowflake, it will offers auto generate the reports by using Snowflake. So those kind of basic reports also customers sometimes will ask to quickly visualize and to quickly like to take the decisions. You need some urgent reports. So Snowflake, inside Snowflake, you will perform some basic data analytics operations. Those things also you can do. So don't worry, those are auto-generated reports. You need to know which table and what database we need to use and which fields are required to get to give that particular data visualization. So those things, if you know, you can able to manage reporting also inside Snowflake. So that also will cover in the Snowflake lecture. Yeah, this is about this. This is about the thorough discussion on Snowflake, and will as we come to the course, the course which is the live sessions, the all our course, the Snowflake course are live sessions. So it is generally a 45 days to 50 days program. So which is consumes around 50 plus hours to cover all the sessions, and also this course will every day in the morning means mostly at 8 a.m. the course will start. So all the courses are recorded. These are all recording sessions. So all the courses are recorded. Yeah. So that's about the course timings, and also we'll discuss more on syllabus. So the course syllabus. So this is the core syllabus which offered for Snowflake training. So we'll start with the introduction and setup. As I told before, so the Snowflake is the SaaS service. So no need to install any software into your system. So only one thing we need to do is we need to get a free trial account, so which is valid for 6 months. So there is a entirely free of cost. So we will discuss more on setup and introduction on Snowflake. Then we'll move on to the architecture and interface, how the Snowflake is designed and how the interface UI stuff and those things we will discuss, and the core components and object management. So this is the main, our topics will start from here. And then data loading and continuous loading, batch and continuous loading. These are the two types of loadings which offered by the Snowflake. So those how we have to load, which commands we need to use, those and all will explain in brief in this lecture. And then performance optimization. As I told, as a Snowflake developer role, your responsibilities also includes the SQL optimization, right? Code optimization. So those things also will explain here. And then these are the some of the features of Snowflake, which is no other software, no other service will offer. So those things, how it will works, where it will works, and which like what is the advantage of this, and how to use this particular particular use case in our SQL command, like while performing any operation. So those things we'll discuss here. And then secure data sharing and access control. So ultimately, at the end of the day, whenever you created any particular job, you need to give the access to end user, right? So those sharing part and like access control part, we will discuss in brief in this topic. And then streams, task, and ETL automations we'll discuss here. It's a very important topic. As a Snowflake developer, you must know these many ETL automation and ETL tasks, streams, those things. And then advanced development and views. So these are all part of SQL. So those the views and the UDF and stored procedures, how it is useful in Snowflake, those things we'll discuss. And monitoring, billing, and cost control. As we told, as we all know now, so it is offers SaaS, right? Software as service. So it's very important to know how you are using the service, because whenever you are using the service, it always costs to the company. So whenever you're computing, you are executing any SQL command, or you are doing any data engineering job, so it always related to your the time to the cost, how much your time used, how many resources you used, and what is the cost to the company. So as a Snowflake developer, you should know monitoring, billing, and cost control. This is very important. So it should, like unnecessary activities, because of unnecessary activities, company should not bill more. So those kind of stuffs, before joining the Snowflake as Snowflake developer, you must know where to control my building. And also it includes end-to-end project implementation. So those things in details will explain in the course. Yeah, yeah, that is the thorough explanation of the Snowflake and the curriculum, the course curriculum. So you have any questions, uh, you can tell me. We'll give the time. If you have any questions related to any other like stuff not related to this thing, or any other stuff, you can ask me. I can able to tell. Have any questions? Now I stops my screen. So you have any questions? So you are welcome to question. I can able to answer related to course and others. What kind of, like, currently you are working with some kind of role, or I want to switch, or kind of any other things, you can able to ask me. You are welcome to for questions. Hello, Sumit is talking. Hello. Yeah, I think nobody is having any questions. See you guys. Very nice day.
Hi, hi,
Yeah.
hi.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Nagaraju. I just
Yeah.
joined.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Hi,
so
Raju. Yeah.
yeah, the course is basically it is oriented on data warehouse building or data engineering.
Yeah. It's purely related to data engineering. So data
Hmm,
warehouse is a part of data engineering, right? So anyway,
hmm,
we need to, as part of data engineering, we need to consume the data from warehouse ultimately. So
hmm.
we are focusing mostly on data engineering stuff in the Snowflake.
Okay,
So
this is
data,
including DBT also.
yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So are we covering any external cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or GCP?
Uh, Actually, in the Snowflake,
Is it integrated with
yes,
any
yes,
cloud platforms?
yes, yes. As in the project, like whenever you are creating a data pipeline, ultimately you need to consume the data from various data sources, right? So that
Yeah,
also
yeah.
includes
Various data sources is a standalone data sources is different, and the cloud is
yes,
different, right? So
yeah,
now in the current world scenario, everybody is looking for the cloud interaction
yes,
with the
yes,
cloud,
yeah, yeah.
right? So standalone is almost nobody is looking, but still we need to.
We will, yeah, yeah. The question is correct. So as part of the data pipeline, so we'll connect the data source to the traditional MS SQL and or
Uh,
Oracle, as well as
uh,
S3D bucket, as well as there is, yes, a transactional code which connects Snowflake to AWS S3 bucket. So based
uh,
by using the transactional code, we can able to pull the data from S3D bucket to our Snowflake table. So those topics also will cover as part of your training.
okay. What about modeling?
So modeling also will cover data modeling. So basically, I will explain in brief during. I will give the lecture on SQL, right? So
Uh-huh.
by the time I will give more about data model, how our database design, those things I will explain.
Okay, ACDs also, right? But because
Yeah,
I don't
yes,
see the ACDs in the syllabus also, so just asking ACD types.
yeah. Types of SCD also I will cover. Yeah, yeah. So you want to know the Snowflake and star schema, right? More are related to that, right?
ACD,
I see the concept, right? Yeah, those things
mm,
also I will cover as part of this like
yeah,
database design.
type 0,
Yeah,
type 1, type 2. This definitely, see, when you are coming for the data modeling, obviously it will cover ACD types also, right?
ST types I will cover. The basic thing I will cover, basic definition and how it design. I'll show you, but I'll cover it because that is very necessary for database the schema designing. Yeah, I'll cover that.
Okay, and what about the visualization? Any Power BI, Tableau, or anything that you are trying to integrate? Because end of the day, we need to see the visualization, right? How the data is
Yes.
moving from warehouse to visualization.
Visualization. So I'll
Uh,
tell you in one lecture. I'll cover up the how to integrate our SQL tables to Power BI. But the visualization in brief, I won't go into Power BI, but I'll tell how to connect mm, the Snowflake table through Power BI, and after that the visualization part, right? So I will give
yeah,
you
yeah.
a basic thing because the Power BI is some kind of different course. It will go like many DAX and data
Mm.
modeling and data power query and those stuffs and all it should cover. So I'll give how to connect. I'll give the a lecture on how to connect the various reporting tools, that Tableau and Power BI, by using Snowflake. Those things I will cover, and visual basic visualization I will cover in the course. I'll cover that. Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for the time. Yes,
yeah,
sorry, I died to the long time. So
yeah.
thank
No
you.
problem. No problem. That's yeah, yeah, yeah. No
Okay.
problem. Then anyone having questions? Any other questions? So
Yeah, hello, sir.
yeah.
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
hi.
Yeah,
Hi.
hi.
Hi,
Hi.
Yeah, hi,
Yeah, hi.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hello, sir.
yeah,
So
hi.
I am specifically interested in Snowflake admin roles. So I noticed that the course is titled for Snowflake developer, as you mentioned earlier. So is this course also suitable for relevant to for someone
Yes,
targeting to
admin.
Snowflake admin support?
Yes. So, as part of Snowflake admin, right, you need to know more on data sharing and security and maintaining the stage tables and the main tables, production tables. So those things also will cover in this like in the course. But why I'm telling the data engineering is mainly cover in the course means, so it is like wide. I mean, like so it's a vast, right, data engineering. So
Mm-hmm.
because of that, I told. But data engineer, data admin role also it will cover in this course. Means whatever the admin role as a Snowflake admin role which you require in the like in the company, those things will cover in this Snowflake because that is very necessary in the initial stage. Initial stage, you need to understand what are the roles which is offered by the Snowflake. Well, there are various roles, user role and admin role and other roles. So those things, all the roles will be covered in the in this course.
Okay. So as you mentioned, 90 or 80% will be developer part, and so what about the rest? Like 20% will be admin part, or mostly?
Yeah, mostly in current industries, right? So most of the
Uh-huh.
jobs are related to data engineering stuff, because as we know, all the traditional warehouses are transforming to the cloud, right? So many projects
Mhm.
are nowadays going with the data engineering parts. But as well as any particular project, if you take one Snowflake admin and three or four Snowflake developers which will work on data engineering. So in every project you take, data admin role will be there, and this data engineering role also will be there as a part of project. But majority of the work will related to data in the current industry, and that's what I mentioned. Yeah.
Okay. So is this for learning this any prerequisites like a heavy coding course we need to complete before that?
Yeah, no need any particular prerequisite, because as I told, I will cover up the basic SQL commands which are necessary for this particular course. But
For
also
developer
before
as well?
a
Mhm.
developer as well as, yeah, developer as well, you must know the SQL language, because in the end of the day you need to always interact with the like a Snowflake table, right? To interact with the Snowflake table you must know the SQL language. But no need to worry, I'll cover the SQL commands and what are the required SQL commands in the lecture. In brief, I'll cover. But before that, if you have familiarized with SQL, that is well and good. But literally you no need uh, any basic prerequisite. But before that, I just suggested to have some basic knowledge on SQL. It's not in depth. I'll mm, not in depth knowledge on SQL, but basic knowledge if you have. Anyway, in upcoming lectures, we'll cover up. That will give the advantage to quickly understand by you. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, okay. So because I'm not interested in the coding side, so that's why I'm asking you. So
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there any
Admin,
heavy coding? Yeah.
yes, yes.
Cool.
Without coding, admin role, it works for you. Yeah, that what are the services which are offered by the Snowflake, that will explain in brief in the lecture. So that is well and good for admin role. That is well and good. So you don't need to worry on the coding, the data engineering stuff. So purely admin role also you can go after completion of the course. So that also will cover in this course. So if you know all the services which are offered by the Snowflake, no, so that is enough for admin role. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
okay,
also
sir.
few
Mhm.
SQL basic queries, that is enough. You no need to perform complex queries. You need to work on complex queries. So that is well and good. Yeah, that will cover up in the lecture.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you. Is there anyone having questions? Yeah, thank you guys. I will see you in next demo. Um, thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Yeah, you can leave. Yeah, you can leave the session. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi Venkatesh.
Hi. Hi. Hi, Sumit.
Yeah, so Venkatesh, I have worked around 1.5 years in Snowflake. So I have
Okay.
worked in a migration. So can you please tell some real-time scenarios matlab, for
Ah,
how the Snowflake they are using for migration and for analytics purpose? So
the real time cases you have, like as you told, you worked in data migration, right? So
yes,
that
sir.
is the one of the use case of Snowflake. So in real time
Mm,
scenario also in data migration, how it will work means, so nowadays basically most of our data sits in many databases, Oracle as
mm,
well as AWS, Azure Blob, AWS S3 buckets, and those areas data is we are pulling the data. So by using
mm.
Snowpipe, we'll create a live like a data pipeline. So and also we need to, as I told before, right, we need to perform some of the cleaning operations. So those services which are also offered by the Snowflake, so those kind of stuffs will integrate the SQL command which we are writing. So those also will integrate in the data pipeline, and will move the data first into our stage Snowflake tables, internal
Okay.
tables. and then we'll move into our external tables as. So those kind of
Okay.
stuffs we'll do, and then by using external tables, that is the where the data warehouse will sit. So by using that, we'll give that access control to the end customer or some reporting team, whoever wants the
Mm.
access. So those kind of stuffs will admin will take care, as somebody asked, right? Sheikh asked. So those kind of stuffs also we'll discuss. Those is the real time case, and also we'll cover up one of the real time project. So where we'll include end to end project, which also include data engineering as well as admin role. What kind of admin role you need to perform in this project? So those things will cover up in the project, as well as during lecture also you can understand slowly what kind of things which are needed for data migration. Yeah.
Okay, so means migration and analytics purpose. Or,
Yeah, analytics rarely, because as I told, the Snowflake, right, it will give, currently it's giving auto generated reports. You need to know
okay.
which field you need to drag and keep. So those kind of basic reports you can pull from that table for validation. So whenever you're migrated some data, you need to do some
Mm.
validation, right? So to check the sum or count check, number of rows check. So those kind of simple techniques, simple analytics you can perform inside the Snowflake. But the main analytics will comes like will do by using some of the tools, right? Power BI and Tableau and Python, even Python, SAS. So
Mm.
those things. By but the Snowflake having supported for those external entities, there is separate connection ID for those software to connect with the Snowflake tables, and those things
Yes.
it will support. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So in the end, you will give that real time project scenario. No?
Yes. Yes. I'll explain briefly on real-time projects. Yeah. Scenario.
Okay. Okay. So one last question.
Yeah.
So data engineers will have also have any role for admin or not?
Basically,
In
though,
real time.
yeah, basically the admin role is different. Uh,
Okay. Hmm.
yeah, the Snowflake, the data engineering role is different. So admin will take care of all the access related stuff. The data engineer more like technical side. He is to have the knowledge on various things, right? SQL, in-depth knowledge on SQL and other stuffs. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, Venkatesh.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for it.
yeah. So yeah, yeah. I think that's it, guys, for today. So we'll connect tomorrow. Thank you, guys.